Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Emily and today I have a quick little Joann Fabric and Crafts haul to share with you. So it is April 2025, as I'm sure many of you know. Joann's is in the process of closing down their store, and I've been kind of waiting until closer to when the stores are officially supposed to close, because to be quite honest, the discounts and going out of business sales have been horrendous. They have been worse than just the standard Joann sales. So I was really trying to wait until the end of April. And the sales still aren't... I thought my husband was coming inside. He's got the boys out on their back deck. The sales still aren't amazing. They're okay. They're okay. But I wanted to go before it closed and see if there was anything left that was worth grabbing to work on some different projects and things. And I think I found a couple things. The one annoying thing is that right now, at least, all of their fabric, they require you to get at least 2 yards of it, which was really frustrating because I found this about 4 different prints of quilting cotton fabric that would have been perfect for making my little boy a quilt, and I have been wanting to make him a little quilt since before he was born, and I just haven't found the right fabric and haven't gotten around to it, blah, blah, blah. So I found all of them, and I get up to the fabric counter and I'm like, okay, I see all these signs around, but is that for just the ribbon and trims? And the lady at the cutting counter was like, no, that's for everything. You have to get 2 yards of everything. And I was just like, because it is on sale. It is on clearance sale, and so it's a decent price, but I just don't need 2 yards of all of this like little boy themed fabric. So I did end up getting a couple of them, and honestly my husband said that I could go back and get the rest of them, which I might, because they were just so perfect for a little quilt. So I don't know, I'm still thinking about it, and I may wait and see if the sales get any better closer to the end of April. We've still got about a week or so to go, but I may end up going back and getting it just because it's perfect. But let me just quickly show you the 2 that I did end up getting. I got this adorable ambulance print, which I was super excited to see this one because my brother-in-law, my husband's brother, is a EMT. I was thinking it was EMS. Maybe it's both. He drives an ambulance. That's his job. And I feel like it's not super common to see specifically like ambulance themed things. So I was like, oh, perfect. So they had the ambulance. They had garbage trucks, which my little boy absolutely loves. And he has a toy that looks almost identical to this. And then they had like a royal blue that had police cars on it, and they had a gray that had like a construction vehicle of some type. It was like a backhoe or something. And then I found a red one that had fire trucks on it, and I was just like, this would be the most adorable little boy quilt ever. Like, do kind of big squares, and it would just be so cute. So I'm really annoyed that they were requiring you to get 2 yards. And the lady at the cutting counter was even saying, she was just like, she's just like, it's the liquidators, that's what they're requiring. It's really annoying because most quilters only need like a half of a yard or something. And I was just like, yeah, man, like, whew. So I may end up going back and getting it, but like, look at that. It's so cute. And so if you had like all of these together, it would be adorable. We'll see. Each of these was like $7 something for 2 yards, which isn't terrible. It would have been like $35 to get, or a little bit more. It would have probably been closer to $40 because the fire truck fabric was a little bit more expensive. It was a slightly different type of fabric. It probably would have been about $40 to get the fabric, which isn't the worst, but I'm just like, I feel like I'm always like very conscious about how much money I'm spending, and I try to be very aware and intentional about what I'm spending, particularly when it comes to craft supplies, just because I'm very aware that as a stay-at-home mom, my husband is going out and working, and so basically purchasing these things equates to hours of his life that he is working. And obviously it doesn't quite work out that way because we're both a team. We're a team. Like, I'm staying home and taking care of the kids so that he can go out and work, and it all works out. But I'm just very conscious of that fact where I'm just like, okay, I want to make sure that any of the craft supplies and things that I am purchasing are things that I'm going to use, that I am not just hoarding all of these craft supplies and wasting, like not quite wasting, but not using wisely the money that my husband is earning for our family. So he said that I could go back and get the rest of it. I might go back and get the rest of it. We'll see. It's like a full 30-minute drive, so I don't know. And then I went ahead and grabbed 2 yards of this really beautiful charcoal gray felt because I saw on Instagram ages ago this really cute circle skirt that the lady had done where she had done like Lego blocks around the hem of it out of felt, and I was just like, oh, that's so cute. So I wouldn't do Lego blocks, I don't think, but I think it would be really, really fun to do like maybe like a woodland scene around the bottom of the quilt, or around the bottom of the skirt. So we'll see. I may just make a plain gray circle skirt for now and then decide what I want to do later, but the felt was super cheap. Like, this was like $3 for this giant piece of felt, so that was nice. Then I was kind of going back and forth on some of the yarn. As I've mentioned in my videos, I am trying to be very, very intentional about not buying yarn this year, but again, this is like a once-in-a-lifetime sort of thing. Craft stores don't always go out of business, so I was like, okay, I can purchase some yarn there, but I still want to try and stick to the things that I'm being conscious of what I already have in my stash and not just buying more of the same thing, if you will. So they only had 2 colors left of the Lion brand 24/7 cotton yarn, which I'm using for my Tulsa tee, and I would have loved to get some more of that cotton yarn to make some more. I'm realizing I really, really desperately need cotton yarns, but again, I'm trying to be very intentional about using what I have, and so I will probably in November, when the Black Friday sales happen, purchase a decent chunk of cotton yarns to use for warm weather knits, because I don't have that. But the colorways were not necessarily the ones that I would have absolutely loved to choose, and they were still like $3 something a ball, so I was like, okay. And I felt like I was already spending more on this fabric because I wasn't intending to buy 2 yards of all of it, so I ended up putting that back. I was about to get enough to make another sweater with it, but I put that back. And instead I decided to get 3 giant, well, I don't know what you would call these things, but skeins, hanks, whatever these things are, of the Lion brand Pound of Love yarn in this beautiful blue. It is in the denim blue colorway, and it is just 100% acrylic. It's 454 grams or 1,020 yards per ball, and my plan for this is to make my husband and the boys matching cardigans, sweaters, vests, some sort of combination. I want to cast this on over the summer and work on it and have it all ready to go for the fall. I'm thinking I will probably make my husband another stick season jacket, just because it's a cardigan pattern that I know that works out of acrylic yarn, and I can make it a zip up thing. So that's what I'm thinking I would do for him, and then I will probably do just some basic sweaters for the boys, something simple. And we'll see, because technically, or not technically, I have over 3,000 yards of this, so depending upon, I can't remember how much I used for my husband's stick season jacket previously, and I think I would actually go down one more size when I knit it again, but depending on how much I use, I don't think I would need very much for the boys' sweaters, because I would probably make a 2T size and then like a 4-year-old size, because that's a little bit bigger, but my baby's pretty big. He's rapidly catching up to my 2-year-old, and my 2-year-old is pretty small, but I want to make him big enough that they can grow into it, sort of a thing. And so I might have enough left to make myself a vest, which would be really funny because we would have a whole family of matching knitted things, but I would love that. I love this color blue. Like, it is just so pretty. And I didn't check to see, they had a ton of this in the store. So we'll see. I may end up going back, and if I go back and get the other fabric, I might grab one more, because I think a vest out of this would be beautiful, like the Staffin' vest from Rebecca of the Creative podcast. That would be gorgeous in this, but we'll see. So that was my little Joann Fabrics haul, and now I have to figure out where to put these giant things of yarn. But yeah, they had a decent amount of colors left of these Pound of Love, and then they had like the Big Twist, which was the Joann's brand of yarn. They had their like pound balls or whatever. They had a decent amount of like those, but again, the yarn prices still weren't that heavily discounted, so I didn't want to go crazy. But that is all that I got. I hope you enjoyed this quick, sweet little video. If I do end up getting more from Joann's, I will share it on my next video. I'm hoping to do another vlog next week, but we will see. It's been a challenging week this last week, and I am just exhausted. So we'll see what the next week holds. So I actually ended up going back to Joann's. I really, really wanted to make this quilt for my toddler, and so, especially after my husband was like, you should go back and get it, I was like, okay. So we went back yesterday. So now I can show you all of the fabrics that I got. I have way more than I need to make a little quilt, and I'm almost positive I'm just going to do a rag quilt. I was thinking I was going to do a proper quilt, but I just love rag quilts. I have the first one that I ever made. I still have it, and I love that thing. And then I ended up making rag quilts for my 4 younger brothers, and from what I hear, they still use them even though they're like 10 plus years old at this point. The quilts, my younger brothers are all, 2 of them are married, 1 of them is getting married this year, and then the other one is hoping to get married in the near future. So they're all old now, but they still use these rag quilts that I made when they were much littler. And so I love rag quilts. And so I'm pretty sure I'm just going to make a rag quilt with this fabric and then patches of denim, and then I may get some flannel from Hobby Lobby to sandwich in the middle to make extra fluff. So I already showed you these 2 that I had gotten before. Let's see if I can kind of arrange them so you can see all of them. So there are these 2. Then we've got police cars. And then we've got fire trucks. I don't know if I can do this all on one arm in a way that you can see it. And then we have whatever this is, excavator, crane. Oh, I think it's a crane. I think it's a crane. Like, is this not perfect? So cute. Garbage trucks, ambulance, police cars, fire truck, crane. Like, I couldn't not. So you can watch my regular videos because this should be coming sometime soon. But yeah, so I'm really happy to have it. Yes, it was a little bit expensive because I had to buy so much of the fabric, but it's going to make the cutest little quilt, and I'm just so happy. And I'm planning, I'll probably use some of the leftovers to make like some shorts for the boys or something like that. So it's not going to go to waste. Well, we're fine. And then I did go ahead and grab 1 more of the Pound of Love. So now I have 4 of these. It should be more than enough to make something for everybody. And then I was eyeing this the last time I was there, and it was still there when I went back, and so I was like, okay. And it's the Big Twist Tweed. It's just, again, 100% acrylic. It's 97% acrylic, 3% viscose. I'm assuming the viscose is the tweedy bits. I love the tweedy bits. But yeah, so this is machine washable. You can't dry it, which is a little but it's machine washable. And my thought with this is that I'm going to make my toddler another Ollie's Everyday Slipover. I think is what it's called. The pattern technically calls for, I believe it's sport weight yarn, and this is a worsted, but that'll be fine. I'll just make this, I'll probably just make the same size that I made previously, just in a thicker yarn with the bigger needles, and it'll work out fine. But that little vest ended up being such a wearable item, and I'm really happy because that means that now I can use that for my baby this fall, and so then I'll just make another brown one for my toddler. So I think that'd be great. And it comes with 382 yards per 170 grams. So yeah, that is my full Joann's haul. I do not have any plans to go back at any point. I'm not 100% sure when the official close date for my store is. I was trying to find that out, but I don't know if it actually is May 1st or if they're just going to stay open until they're sold out. I'm not sure. But I'm very happy with the things that I managed to get. And that's all. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you very soon on the next one. Bye!